Hi, sexy. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I'm Dr. Limor, your friendly sex and relationship counselor and therapist. This is Anti-Aging Sensuality, and thank you for joining me again today. I'm a bit under the weather, but I thought I'll jump into a few nuggets or just a short video to relate to a few questions that you guys sent. I kind of rolled them into one, and essentially the question was, what makes a firm, long-term relationship? So this is very essential because a long-term relationship could be many, many years or even sometimes decades, which we're all hoping for if we are in a relationship that is solid and strong. So we need to think about things that we can integrate into this relationship to kind of keep it going and even enhance it with time. I call it the 5 C's. So the first one out of the 5 C is commitment. Commitment is something that we kind of, if we hear the word commitment, anything that we relate to this relationship that has to do with the strength of it or our dedication to this relationship. So it can be to put this relationship on top of leading any other relationship, to stay tuned to your partner, to make it noticeable that you are completely invested and you are interested in maintaining and keeping this relationship in check and wonderful and growing and enhancing with time. This is what I relate to as commitment. The second C is care. So, do you care about your partner? That's a very important question to ask yourself. Do you care about the strength of this relationship? Do you care about how your partner relates to you? There are many questions that have to do with the care part of the 5 C's, and anybody can really we can all ask ourselves what matters to us, what relates to as the care component, but it is a very important component in this long-term relationship. The third one would be communication. So communication is essential because sometimes we are convinced that our partner knows what we want, what we are thinking of, what we are aspiring to, and oftentimes this is not the case. Let's just keep in mind, and I'm talking about heterosexual relationships, we are different genders, different places in our lives, and just a different kind of creature, or just with different desires, with different interests, with different hormonal system. Many things influence this. So communication is key to keep our relationship strong and enhanced and moving forward as as we grow wiser and as our relationship goes and grows within the years. And that's something that is very important to invest in. The next one would be compromise, and that's a very important C to keep in mind, because compromising is not does not mean that we're gonna put aside what is important to us and just keep what is important to our partner as a main interest. That's not the case. The case is essentially to understand that that you need two to tango, and that this relationship is involved is like based on whatever we are involved in together. So this is something like a give and take relationship that we need to understand that sometimes you need to take a step back and allow something that is required of you, even though it's not necessarily something that we are so interested in or so adjusted to. And this is compromise. Now, compromise can be a very wide, and a range of compromise can be very wide, but we are the ones that need to decide what does it mean to compromise and where is our limit. And this needs to be discussed between us as a compromise of understanding, I would say. The last one, but definitely not least, is compatibility. How compatible we are. And this question, of course, in my field has to do with the sexual and sensual part. But essentially, we need to understand that there's some form of compatibility between us when it comes to every notion and every part of our life. Because if I'm even politically interested in something else or I have different beliefs, and my partner has completely the opposite, the polar belief in regards to whatever it is, the choice of having children, where are we going to live, what kind of religion, how important is religion, other things, other questions, we're not really compatible. And of course, when we're talking about a sexual aspect of it, I can do a different kind of video about this. This is something that is very crucial, and we need to kind of work on it together. But that's such a deep topic that we can do it separately, and I can talk about it in length. So in general, compatibility is something that is compounded and entails different things and a variety of compartments, essentially. So we need to understand, what does it mean, again, to us to be compatible? Does it mean that we can work things out? Does it mean that we are originally very compatible and have the same kind of set of beliefs or ideas or things that are important to us? And we need to keep in mind that within the years, and as we grow wiser and become stronger and more kind of in our position, kind of strong in our head and in our state of mind, we tend to be a little different than we were a few decades ago or a few years ago. So compatibility is something that we need to recheck within the years and see if we are on the same page, because it's essential and a very important C within the 5 C's. So hopefully this helps you. I'm very grateful for all your questions. I'm hoping you're feeling well. And if you're not, be well soon. I'm wishing this for myself, and hopefully we'll meet again next week. Thank you again so much for joining me again today. And as I always say, stay sexy and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.